I'm Dr. Albert Rizzo, Chief Medical Officer for the American Lung Association. Today we're speaking with Dr. Denise Kent, who is a PhD, APRN, and Assistant Professor at University of Illinois, Chicago's Department of Biobehavioral Nursing Science, and the Division of Pulmonary Critical Care, Sleep and Allergy. She is also an American Lung Association awardee for her research titled Ethical Excellence, Returning Computed Tomography Results to Active Lung Health Cohort Participants, or the RECEIVE study. Thank you for your time today, and please give us some background and explain the significance of your research.
Thank you, Dr. Rizzo, for the introduction and for inviting me to speak with you today about my American Lung Association funded grant, RECEIVE. The RECEIVE study is notable because it addresses a critical gap in clinical research, which is inadequate enrollment and representation of minorities in research. As you well know, 40% of clinical research sites struggle to enroll participants, and many sites fail to enroll any participants at all. And this has consequences. It leads to delays and even early termination of studies, which ultimately suspends scientific discovery. This issue was only compounded by the lack of minority representation in research, leading to health inequities. So one strategy to increase enrollment and engagement in clinical research is the return of individual research results during the study. Researchers, including myself, have shown that participants want to receive their individual results. However, the current practices of returning these results is inconsistent at best and lacks established best practices. In fact, in 2018, the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine produced a report emphasizing that returning valid and actionable individual research results is an ethical obligation of research teams. Yet, despite the call to action, best practices for returning IRRs remain underdeveloped. And in short, that's the focus of the RECEIVE study.
Very good. And I understand this study is part of the American Lung Association's Lung Health Cohort Study. Can you please tell us about that study and your component?
So the RECEIVE study is an ancillary study embedded within the Lung Health Cohort Study, also referred to as the LHC. The LHC is funded by the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute and is a study of 4,000 healthy individuals between the ages of 25 and 35 years, the first ever study to focus on millennials. The overarching objective of the LHC is to establish a cohort of young adults for the purpose of defining lung health and developing targets to intercept chronic lung disease at its earliest stages. So the LHC is being conducted by the American Lung Association's Airways Clinical Research Center across the United States at 27 clinical sites. To date, 2,400 LHC participants have completed a chest CT test as part of the study. Thousands more are still to complete that. What we know so far within the LHC is that CT tests completed, of the CT tests completed, a third of the results identify a new health-related finding, and 11% are medically actionable, requiring follow-up with a healthcare provider. So the RECEIVE study aims to describe the processes and experiences of returning and receiving individual research results from the perspective of three stakeholders: the research team, the research participant, and the healthcare provider whose patient is enrolled in the LHC. The overall objective of the RECEIVE study is to develop a tool to support the return of chest CT results within the LHC, and the long-term goal to establish a process by which the return of individual research results is standardized for participants. Hopefully, our approach will inform how other studies return individual research results across a range of diseases and conditions across multiple studies.
So then please tell us about the objectives of the RECEIVE study.
The primary objective of the RECEIVE study is twofold. First, it is to engage with the Lung Health Cohort Study team the research participants, and their healthcare providers to describe the process, experiences, and satisfaction with returning and receiving individual chest CT results. Now, the second objective is to develop a return of individual research results tool using a human-centered design framework for implementation in the LHC. An LHC Participant Advisory Council will also be established to guide the development of this tool.
Very good. So tell us what the methodology is that you're using.
So the RECEIVE study employs a mixed methods approach, and this includes surveys and interviews with stakeholders involved in the LHC. As I mentioned, the LHC consists of healthy young adults that undergo a chest CT, and then their findings are classified as normal, abnormal, or medically actionable. Currently, there's no standardization around what LHC chest CT results are returned and how they're provided. So data collection will include surveys targeting study team members, participants, and healthcare providers to gather insights into their experiences, virtual interviews to explore stakeholder experiences in greater depth, and then the establishment of a participant advisory council is key to guiding the tool development based on stakeholder feedback.
So what do you then expect as outcomes of the study?
So the outcomes that we're expecting is a comprehensive understanding of the current processes and challenges related to returning individual research results from the perspective of multiple stakeholders. Second, developing a user-friendly tool designed to facilitate effective communication of LHC chest CT results. And then finally, an establishment of best practices for how to return results that can be adapted for use in other studies beyond the LHC.
And therefore, what do you think are some of the implications of this work going forward?
The implications of this work is considerable. By addressing the critical barrier of inconsistent return practices for individual research results, the RECEIVE study has the potential to enhance participant engagement and retention. The findings could inform broader applications across various conditions and studies, ultimately contributing to improved health outcomes and reduced disparities in research participation. So by focusing on the return of individual research results as a means to enhance participant experience and satisfaction, this initiative aims to set new standards for ethical responsibilities within clinical research while promoting inclusivity and diversity in medical research.
Well, I want to thank you again for your time today, and certainly good luck with the American Lung Association's ACRC and your research.